Ladies and gentlemen, next up, a 6'1" guard hailing from Voorhees, New Jersey. My hero and soon to be your hero, Jason Bryce Jr. The life and times of Jay Jr. The life and times of Jay Jr.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Central Regional High School, home of the Golden Eagles. And welcome to tonight's first round of the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs, featuring your Golden Eagles and the Vikings of Eastern. Before the game begins, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the starting lineups. We'll begin tonight with the Vikings of Eastern High School.
Let's go!
Starting off, number 11, Noah Payne. Number 3, Jason Bryce. Number 5, David Edwards. Number 1, Shane Huggard. And number 33, Jarrett Gibson. And the rest of the Eastern Vikings. And now it's time for the starters for your Central Regional Golden Eagles. Central is led by head coach Mike Clemente, assistants John Frito, Mike Puglisi, and Jeremy Williams. Starting off, sophomore guard, number 0, Brian Levin. Now my turn for Central, number 14, Jason Tucci. Wages number 12, Andrew Gusto.
How don't you call that call? Come on, man.
It looked like one is, yeah. See, I don't know. See, it don't look like no bone break though, right?
No, like the bone break, it wasn't.
It looked a little knobby though.
Yeah. Both of them look knobby.
They do.
Don't both of them look
Right, like,
bent?
yeah, like why you stand like that?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you? They look a little knobby.
Okay.
Yeah, that's alright. What it is, no matter what, man, ain't no stopping.
bleeding. Anything you see that's white is fluid. So you'll initially see it, all your blood vessels and stuff, and then you'll see fluid indicating some swelling and bleeding from the injury. So as we come through, this is your thigh bone and your shin bone, your femur and your tibia. This is your meniscus, this black rectangle. It looks nice and solid and intact. I'm not seeing any major tear to the meniscus on the medial side, which is the inside of the knee. So we want it to be 2 little black triangles. There's a lot of fluid in there from the other injuries, so they're kind of floating in space right now, but the actual meniscus looks intact to me. As we continue to come through, we'll get into the middle of the knee. This is your PCL. So your ACL should look kind of like this as well, a black kind of rope-like structure. So this is your patellar tendon, your quad tendon is up here. As we continue to come through, you can start to see your ACL, but then it's kind of just a bunch of gray swirls, because that's all the different fibers of that ligament that are kind of just hanging like 2 different mop ends is what we use to describe it. So in this instance, it's a full tear of the ACL. It's still kind of attaching on either end, but everything in the middle is torn through.
I will be back in December, or a little bit before December, before the season starts.
Okay, for basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're saying like right after, by Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So that's,
Yeah.
It's around 9 months.
no, it's less than that. It's about 7.
Yeah. The only thing I will say, the 9 month, at least to us, is I don't know what Rothman's post-operative kind of
Sure.
plan is. For us, 9 months is a hard stop at the minimum. And the reason for that is they've done studies where they've looked at the cells under a microscope, because we're using a tendon and your ACL is a ligament. So they're technically 2 different types of tissue. And they looked at the cells under a microscope, and when the tendon cells become ligament cells and actually form into a ligament is a minimum of 9 months out. So we call that the graft maturing. And that occurs 9 months out from surgery. So that is our minimum, at least here. I can't speak for other institutions. It's, to my understanding, a pretty general use because of the research out there. I would think most places kind of go by that. But that's just, for us at least,
Okay.
9 months is the number.
I'm not recording. I'm not recording. Yo, listen, at the end of the day, yo, check it out. Yo, listen, 9 months, and here's the thing. You heard what they said. They say, yo, everybody feels like they're a lot stronger, they're better after. This will make you better. It's gonna make you better. I know it's annoying, but it's gonna make you better.
The Still Strong Award is given to an individual who has used his or her battle with cancer to help others. The 2022 winner is Jason Bryce. Jason's story was recently featured. Let's give Jason a round. Jason's story was recently featured on 6ABC. Here is some of that story.
If you need to find Jason Bryce on the basketball court, just look for the guy that's always smiling. Because after the serious illness that Jason has overcome, he can't help but be grateful for every moment he's out there.
Before, I used to take life for granted. You know, I used to take shortcuts in life, school, basketball, doing chores, taking out the trash. Now I just appreciate life more because it was literally almost taken from me multiple times.
His freshman year, Jason was hit in the groin during a game.
I went to the hospital, I was throwing up, different stuff, and then probably like 2 in the morning, they told my parents that it might be cancer.
The diagnosis? Embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma, a rare form of cancer. Bryce went through a 9-hour surgery to remove the tumor and then 6 months of chemotherapy, losing 30 pounds in the process.
Mentally, it was very draining, and to this day, I still live with that trauma, and how bad I felt, it was really hurtful.
Which is why it's incredible to see him now. A junior at Eastern High School in Voorhees, Jason is averaging over 14 points a game. He's put up 20 or more in 5 games this year.
He's our second best player on the team. It's just a success story to see him out on the court. Anytime that a kid goes through that type of adversity, it's just wonderful to have him out there with your team.
Jason has a shot to play at the next level. And after that, he hopes to maybe follow a career in sports management. But whatever he puts his mind to, this kid will be a success.
He's a really good kid, a lot of fun to be around. Part of the reasons why, you know, you get into teaching and coaching, because it's fun to be around kids. It's fun to be around people that love life, and Jason certainly loves life.
In Voorhees, New Jersey, Jamie Apodi, Channel 6, Action News.
Tough kid with a great smile, Jim.
Courageous young man. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2022 Still Strong Award winner, Jason Bryce.
Just kind of want to talk about like my story and how like kind of like what I went through, stuff like that. So, you know, my name is Jason Bryce. I'm kind of like I'm a cancer survivor, not kind of, but 2 years ago I was diagnosed on September 27th, and you know, being as young, that's kind of like the worst news to hear in your life. You know, you're still playing video games, eating chips in bed. So it's like, you know, being like 14, you don't know you got cancer. So, you know, that was like, the first surgery was cool. I thought it was like, you know, a very cool experience. I had an Xbox in my room and everything. So when I was being told I couldn't play basketball, that's kind of like, or kind of like, you know, that kind of hurt me, because it's like, that's like what I love to do, you know. So, you know, I was out for a month out of school before I had my second surgery. And that's kind of like when everything happened, you know. On October 31st, 2019, that's when I had my second surgery, and that was pretty traumatic, you know. Couldn't eat, I lost probably like 30 pounds. Like, it was very traumatic. So, you know, I had the second surgery in the hospital. I had my first chemo too, so that wasn't really, you know. So I'm a little lost for words, you know. But like the constant like throwing up and not feeling well, hair loss, etc., really killed me inside. You know, throughout the process, I knew that I was able to play basketball again and get even better than what I was before. On March 30th, 2020, I finished my last round of chemo. It kind of sucked because, you know, COVID-19 hit in the middle of that. So after being out my whole freshman year and thinking I was coming back, it's like that's when it hit. So it was like more adversity after that. It's like I couldn't catch a break. So then, you know, once I just worked really hard, and once my story came out, I kind of was like kind of insecure about it, because I didn't want everybody to think like, oh, I'm just a kid with cancer. But then, you know, my dad kind of talked to me and was like, well, if I suck at basketball, nobody really talk about it, you know? So, but I'm thankful for this opportunity. I want to thank Lee and Devin still for giving me the opportunity to be up here and talk to you guys this evening. I want to thank my father for pushing me every day to be as great as I can. I also want to thank my mother for being the number one cheerleader and always talking to me. She always has that number one woman spot in my heart. My sisters and cousins and all my family members, you know, they always keep a smile on my face. There's never a dull moment when they're around. My trainers who helped me get back in shape, I would like to thank them too. I would like to thank Marcus Bullock, one of my trainers. I would like to thank Anthony Parsons, my strength and conditioning coach, my head coach Crawford. They just push me every day to be the best I can. Lastly, my family on both my mom and dad's side and friends that have been there since the beginning. I love every single one of y'all. Thank you for seeing me being great and having faith in me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jason. But before you leave the stage, someone said to shut up.
Yo, Jason, congratulations. We're really proud of you. It was wonderful having you on the basketball team this year. We got a bunch of your friends here that want to congratulate you as well. You earned this, man. Nothing in life has out there to offer that you can't overcome. Congratulations. We're looking forward to next year. Well done.
What's up, Jason? Friends here. Congrats on the award. We love you. We're here for you. You got your back.
really proud of you.